This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
JR, before we get to the fan questions, and we have a couple this week, what is the biggest misconception, in your opinion, of Michael Cole?
Oh, man, I don't know. He's hard to say. I mean, golly, he's the biggest, to me, the biggest misconception. He's very underrated. He's too he doesn't get the credit that he deserves, and he deserves more, because he had a tough act to follow. He's in a very tough position. You know, when he's not on the air, he's on the headsets producing Monday Night Raw talent. So I think underrated. He's a real good producer and a great organizer for his announcer team. And I don't think he's given the credit for that he deserves. So I say underrated, quite frankly.
Good stuff, JR. Let's get to the fan questions. We'll go rapid fire. So again, just your first response, and we'll go through these and move through these for our folks here. Tonka Toy Roy says, what was the verdict on an outsider coming in? And I think this is speaking to Michael's lack of wrestling experience prior to coming in. Were people worried if he'd get it or not?
No, because he was a bright guy that wanted to learn, and there were plenty of people on campus, so shall we say, that were willing to help him. But he was a smart guy. He picked up on it real well. Look, Paul, it's not rocket science.
Right.
Come on. It's just common sense, logic, and checking your ego at the door. He had no problem with any of those issues.
Adam Arpin is up next, and he says, our buddy Ad-Free Shows, Adam Arpin, a big fan of yours, JR. He says, did you feel Todd Pettengill would have progressed just as, if not further, than where Michael Cole was positioned had he stay, or does Michael have something that just sets him apart from the Pettengills, Coachmans, etc. in this business?
I don't think that as talented as Todd is, he didn't have the versatility that Cole did. He didn't have the same skill set. In other words, I don't know that Todd would have been good at doing play-by-play. Don't know that he'd be bad. It just doesn't seem like it's ever been his calling. So, but to compare those two is a loose comparison. Cole's got much more talent.
There we go.
And where I would have no issue having Todd Pettengill interview anybody or host a show or be a point person, when it comes down to the heavy lifting, which is doing the play-by-play, I want Cole sitting there instead of Pettengill.
Adam Leeson is up next. Well said, JR. Why does JR think Michael gets a bad rap from some fans? Is it because of who came before him? That's exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I think so. It's not fair, but it's the same deal. Hey, look, I followed Cowboy, and he got letters, who's this young guy? We want you back. So we've all been there. The solely illustration I gave you with David and Tony certainly was real. People didn't like the change. Wrestling fans don't like change all the time, especially in those roles of their voices that they hear.
That's right.
And they support. So,
hey, it's taken people a little bit of time to get used to Excalibur and what he's doing. So
yeah, well, he does a hell of a good job. I mean, he's a brilliant guy, and he's got a great feel for the game, and especially some MMA properties and some lucha libre things. He's very good, but I'm like you. He's still getting there as far as the audience is concerned. He has, right. I know he won the Observer Announcer of the Year. So a lot of people love his work, and they should. I told him, I said, well, you only got to win it 15 more times and we'll be tied.
I love it.
But Excalibur's a good man.
Seems like you have
Hey, folks, it's time to take your podcast game to the next level. And you certainly want to get your almighty push. My God, we have to have a push, right? We'll get that over to adfreeshows.com. Now, I'm telling you, if you're a fan of Grilling JR, adfreeshows.com has the entire episode library, and it's got no ads. 0 ads, zilch, none. Ad-free and on video starting at just $9. Did you hear what I said? $9. You spend more than than that at Starbucks, for God's sakes. 2 mornings. If that's not all, folks, we got tons of bonus content, including my after-hours roundtable, where drinking was involved with Eric and Tony. You simply will not find a better value in all of wrestling. Hey, look, don't make me go red ass, because by God, you know I will. Hurry over to adfreeshows.com right now and sign up. And I thank you.
Great relationship with him. So.
Oh yeah, he's smart.
Yeah.
And he makes us all look better. And I'm helping him as best I can. And he accepts my tutoring.
Talk about a mentor to have, Jim Ross. That's fantastic.
Well, I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah. Kurt Zamora is up next, and he said, how good would Michael Cole be if he was able to literally just do play-by-play instead of having to handle all the WWE shtick, like talking about what's trending, etc., throughout the commentary?
It'd do very well, because it lessens the things you have to focus on and to prioritize through your verbiage to get into the show. So he'd probably do a hell of a job. The thing about it, don't think he can't call hold by hold matters. He can, but he would. But that's not their style. It'll never be their style. The play-by-play, telling the story, is always going to fit somewhere in what you said about what's on Twitter, what's trending, and these things. That's just the way Vince wants it, where they're more of a mass appeal, scenario, and so the play-by-play will never be a major component in a WWE show. That's not pissing on their cornflakes here. Just telling you how this is not how they produce their shows. What Vince and Kevin Dunn want is what you're hearing. If you weren't hearing it, then they wouldn't be endorsing it. So that's where all that comes from. But no, I think Cole could do play-by-play in anybody's ball game.
Fernando Diaz says, Jim, any ribs on Michael Cole that you remember?
There was something about maybe that Heidenreich interview, or Heidenreich looked like he was going to molest him. That might have been taken just a little bit too far. It was kind of a stiff rib. But nothing really. Cole's smart. He stayed out of the bullshit.
Yeah.
Stayed away from the troublemakers and stayed away from all that stuff. And that was not his calling. He wasn't a guy that wanted to engage in that sort of behavior. He got a great sense of humor, loves to laugh, but I don't think anybody wants to endorse, something negative. And I'm just trying to think if there's nothing. I can't think of anything really rib wise. Again, he stayed kind of away from that shit.
Yeah, you got him with some barbecue sauce. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah,
that's
well,
nothing major.
He got me first.
There you go. Well, we have up next, we have Astro Zombie, and he says, do you think one of the reasons Cole gets hate is because even though he's good at what he does, he comes across a bit bland compared to announcers of the past?
Maybe. They don't like his personality, because he is a little bit laid back, a little bit more, you don't want to say Michael Cole is like oatmeal with nothing on it. But if you don't put a little something on it, it can be kind of plain. But he's a nuts and bolts guy. And he's got a huge catalog of information that he's responsible for disseminating on that television show every Friday night. Mm. So that's their playbook. Well, it's like saying, well, we ought to throw the ball more. Yeah, but don't you know we run the wishbone? It's a running offense. Well, we still ought to throw the ball more. Well, it may not make any sense. It's what you want to see, type things. But Cole's I just think he's done a hell of a job. He's a Hall of Fame guy. Michael Cole is definitely a Hall of Fame guy. And I, for one, will be clapping big time when he gets inducted.
2 more questions, JR, and then we'll close it down. Icy Jet Wave says, how long did it take for Cole to be respected in WWE?
That came along pretty good. I think that's why he's had a nice meteoric journey from being a voiceover guy, then an interview guy, to where he is today. And I think that's he's always had great respect because he didn't go out of his way to get involved in the bullshit. He was very smart about taking care of his business and doing his job and not getting knee deep in the minutia of wrestling gossip and all these type things. It's just not his style. Me, on the other hand, but seriously, he's smart. He's smart in how he, and I was a little bit, I alienated a lot of people because of my hard-headedness, shall we say, but he just doesn't have that personality. I'm a bull in a china closet, and he's not. Don't mean he's better or worse than JR. Just we're different. And but he got put behind the 8 ball, Paul, as we discussed earlier, with some of that booking.
Yeah.
They cut his legs out from under him. He had to rebuild it. But like I said, what I admire is he steered the course, he rebuilt that, and now he's sitting in a very good spot.
JoJo with our final question of the week. Did you help Michael Cole on commentary the night Mick Foley won his first title on Raw backstage?
Nope, I didn't. I wasn't there. I was sick. Bell's palsy. I was sitting at home in Norwalk. And I said many times, was there one match that you wish you could have called? And that's it. Mick Foley winning his first title. That'll put butts in seats. And which is kind of funny how that's worked out. One innocent line has now become the theme for a graphic novel.
Tony Schiavone selling a comic book on Saturday instead of watching the Georgia game. It's great. It's great.
It's the he's got a personal interest in it. When he's
man, it's
producing Georgia games, it's a different ball game. But now he's got the personal interest in that graphic novel, Butts and Seats, which is, he gave me a copy. I think it's just so well done.
Yeah.
If you haven't looked at it, folks, check it out because it's
Amazon.com. Yeah.
What's that?
You can find it on Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. Well, there you go. Has Conrad bought that yet?
Amazon, not yet. I'm surprised. I mean, probably 2022. That's one of his goals.
Yeah.
Speaking of what's up on the docket, next week, Conrad will be back, and you're going to be finishing your look back 20 years ago with Vengeance 2001. And that's you and I, when we talked to Chris Jericho 2001, that's when he becomes the undisputed champion. And that's the beginnings of the brand split, Ric Flair in the WWF, plus so much more. And my goodness, it is the season, JR, to talk about some stuff over at JR's BBQ.com. There's some good stuff over there right now if you're looking to do some holiday shopping.
Yeah, we got some good packages, Paul. Thanks for bringing it up. Real good packages, box sets. Prices are very competitive. You save yourself a lot of money at JR's BBQ.com. We're working literally around the clock. I know if I want to talk to Stephen Link at 2 a.m, I know where he's going to be. We're working literally all the time. And the only thing I am remiss that maybe somebody's going to wait too late and they don't get it by Christmas or whatever your target date is. But we got all kinds of, Stephen's put together some great packages, great savings. Food's a great gift to give somebody for the holidays. If you got a wrestling fan in your group and you don't know what to get them, it's a suggestion, a good suggestion, I think. So, of course, the all-purpose seasonings are included in a lot of those packages. We got some new items. As I said many times, it costs nothing to go look at jrsbbq.com and know full well that we are grateful for your support and your business.
There's a few different gift box options, whether it's Jan's favorite gift box, Slobber Knocker gift box, the main event gift box. And JR, heard you say on the Zoom event show that was last week that if someone wants an item substituted, that your guy over there will take care of that too. Yeah. So it's just a phenomenal customer service as well.
We're very aware of that. We have to be good, better than good on customer service. We're just a mom and pop company. So we do our best, quite frankly. And I wish I had better news. We're we're not the Red Ass JR's hot sauce ain't dead. It's just a matter of, you know, you find yourself in a position where, because of COVID, everything's blamed on COVID.
Yeah, the pandemic.
It's going to rain tomorrow. I said, COVID. Oh, God damn, COVID. We all know COVID's deal.
It affects the clouds now, and then
oh yeah,
rain.
it affects everything. So, getting supplies, ingredients, because they're not just going to put anything in there. And so we got it's good. So and I can't wait to get it on the market, because I think people are going to love it. If you like hot sauce, then you got to try a bottle, and then tell me what you think. So and of course we'll be letting everybody know when it's going to be available. But I swear to God, it's not going to be long.
Good. I'm looking forward to that. And speaking of value, we'll close with this one, adfreeshows.com. If you're not a member, now is the time to sign up. JR, you don't know this yet, but you're going to get another email from me in the next couple of days, and that's for us to schedule our December bonus show. And again, what you don't know is that me and you were going to sit back and watch an old UWF show once they were purchased from Crockett from 1987. And you and I are going to have fun watching that together and take some fan questions from ad-free shows. That's where you get all the bonus content. You also get these shows he mentioned, JR mentioned earlier on, early and ad-free. This show that is scheduled to drop on the 9th, this will probably drop tomorrow on the 7th as we record it, 7th or 8th. So get it early, get it ad-free, get it on video where you can watch JR passionately talk about how he kicked somebody between the legs. I'm telling you, you can't miss it. The expressions, it's fantastic. There's a great value. Not only do you get all of JR and what he has to offer, but you also get Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle, Tony Schiavone, Eric Bischoff. It's an unbelievable value, Jim Ross.
Conrad's assembled a hell of a roster. And from what I understand, he's not done adding.
He is not done.
So that's all cool. You got to continue to reinvent and stay hot, stay topical. But that's why I love this whole business. I mean, the competitive nature of doing a podcast and seeing it ranked. Are you number 1 this week? You're number 4 this week? You know, whatever it may be. See, I get off on that. I think that's cool as hell.
Hell yeah.
So, you know, and we're
should.
Competitive bunch. Yeah.
That's just like SmackDown and Raw, you know, the A show and the B show, baby.
That's right. That's right. That's the mindset, whether it's accurate or not, or just ego oriented. But no, I'm having a blast. And we got Conrad and I talked about some other things. And so a lot of it depends on my health and where we're going to be and all that good stuff. But like I said, I don't consider any alternative to my current situation other than being healthy and cancer free. That's the only option I will consider.
They just, and to your point, JR, you know, things to come. They just announced a live show with Jeff Jarrett and Eric Bischoff that's going to be out in St. Louis in January. And that's the first of many shows I'm sure we'll see in 2022. As long as you're feeling well, I'm sure we could potentially see something like that for you. And if you're an ad-free shows member, those are discounted tickets for events like that. So lots of reasons to get involved now. I
agree. Ad-free shows is, if Conrad had created adfreeshows.com when I was a pup, I'd have figured out a way to get that first $9 to get involved.
That's right.
Because it's just too good to be true. All the content that you get. And, you know, we haven't even mentioned the old WSB radio shows. Those drop on Fridays, and they're doing really well.
Gold. Audio gold.
They're hearing these interviews as they were live and unrehearsed and unproduced and all that good stuff. So it's a great entity right now. The podcast world is on fire, and Conrad's got the goods. He's got the horses.
JR, there are people that join just to hear those shows, and they comment that every time they're released. Like, I'm here for the WSB radio shows.
Oh, great.
So it's really cool. And I'm telling you, if you say $9 I can do, try the $9. And then as you get used to that, then maybe think about the next year.
Of course.
And the next year. So,
but point is that for $9, for as little as $9, you are able to sample and get a very good look or a good feel, a good listen to what you've been missing. $9. And last I looked, that's maybe, is that 2 Starbucks?
That's less than 2. You might get a cup and a half at Starbucks on $9.
So there you go.
Well, JR, this has been an absolute blast for me. I really enjoyed stopping in again with you today and talking all things Michael Cole. I think you cleared the air here. We weren't here to find animosity. We just wanted to hear your story of your friend and through the years with Michael Cole, and I think you did him well today, sir.
Hope so. Well, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
If folks are looking for negativity and poor me and poor him, he's a bastard, this, that, then I'm sorry I disappointed you. But I did tell you the truth. I told you everything that I know and how I feel about this guy. And I just think he's been misrepresented at times by some fan base, some of the fan base. And that's unfortunate, especially for a guy that works that hard, that loves the business as much as he does, and has contributed over the years so much to the pro wrestling game, the sports entertainment game, more specifically for him. So I'm glad we got to do it. Glad we got to do it. So it made me feel better.
Well, JR, on behalf of all wrestling fans and all fans of you, you will continue to be in our thoughts and prayers as you continue on in your treatments. And we hope that they continue to go smooth for you, man. We're thinking about you. We're in your corner. And like I said, it's been great to be here with you today. He's Jim Ross, the voice of wrestling. And I'm Paul Bromwell. It's been a pleasure to be here with you this week here on Grilling JR. We'll see you next time.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.